3, 2, 1. What's going on, everyone? You're watching Ash on Comics. My name is Ash, and it is story time live. A little bit late tonight. Had some work to do. Cutting it close. Story of my life. Sorry about that for anyone that was waiting. Hopefully, you guys got to chat amongst each other. You know, it's what is it with the rock stars? You always show up late on stage because it builds up the tension. I wish I was a rock star. I don't pretend to be. So let's see what's going on tonight. We got, looks like Melissa Harris and Sons is first. Surprise, surprise. Rania second. She paused watching animated Iron Man to be here. Well, that's very nice of you, Rania. I appreciate that. That's very nice. I was noticing today, caught on my mind, the idea of being in someone's chat and then you gotta leave. It's one thing if you gotta leave, you're like, hey, my wife needs help with the baby, I gotta go, sorry. Yeah, you say bye, say that, like, cool. It's another thing to say, hey, I gotta go, I'd rather watch paint dry than this channel. The latter is a little bit kind of an insult. Maybe best to just say, hey guys, gotta go, catch you later. Leave off the other part. For example, Rania could have said, hey Ash, sorry I'm gonna miss your stream, I'm gonna watch some Iron Man. I mean, she's free to do it. I'm sure Iron Man's better than what I do, but you know, it's no real reason to say like I'd rather do something else and watch your stream. I mean, I know it's true, but I don't need to like have it thrown in my face. Anyways, I was just noticing that. I don't know why it stuck out to me as I watch other people in chat. And I was like, why are you saying that? Like, that's kind of rude. Like, just say bye. Not like, hey, I'm going to go clean my my bathtub because it's more fun than... Anyways, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm drinking a Stella Artois Belgian lager. And, it's pretty good. It's really good. Lager is the real kind of beer. Ale is the second. And then IPAs are at the bottom. Never drink IPAs. It'll turn you into hipster. If you're a guy, you will lose all your... drop your sperm count and your testosterone levels. Don't ever drink IPAs. Let's see. Anyways, thank you, Rania. Melissa's still here, hopefully. She sweared off DC and Marvel, Toonami, and all of Western entertainment because of their woke SJW pandering, and instead, I read and watched anime on manga, and my sons use alternative media. Yeah, there's no escaping the woke culture, it seems. Man, I was all disappointed on the Super Bowl. Not in the Super Bowl itself, but during the Super Bowl, they released an ad for a new movie coming out called Without Remorse. And that may not mean much to most people, but it's a book that I read a long time ago that I particularly liked. I'm a big... Okay, I don't want to say I'm a big Tom Clancy fan. I am a Tom Clancy fan. There's plenty of books of his I haven't read. But I'm a struggling reader. I like to read, but I don't like to read. It's a weird thing. It's probably why I read comics. I have a struggle with committing to long reading. If I can sit down and read a comic in 15, 20 minutes, it's not really an attention span thing. It's more of a procrastination thing. And when I look at a big, thick 800-page book, I go, oh, God, that's going to be a mountain to tackle. I'll get to that later. Now, when I'm into the book, I don't care. I'm loving it. I'm currently reading a 1,200-page monstrosity right now. But it's the fourth book in the series. And it's one of the... It's becoming quickly one of my favorite stories ever. You know, I'm a big Star Wars guy, and I'm kind of remiss that I'm never going to get that feeling again. Star Wars is pretty much dead, right? There's an animated corpse a Frankenstein's monster, if you will, walking around. That sure, maybe it'll give me some enjoyment here and there, but it won't ever be what it was. And that's my primary love and joy of that I put everything under. You know, it's the high bar that nothing can ever touch, so to speak, for me. And I lament because I want other things to be that good. You know, and it comes to the world of movies, man. I was ecstatic in the late 90s and early 2000s when got The Matrix and the Lord of the Rings trilogy. And like both of those were like at that, you know, maybe not quite at Star Wars level, but like higher than anything else has ever come. And it was like, oh my God, I got 3 super badass trilogies. And don't you shut up about the Matrix sequels. I will kick you. I'm just kidding. I won't kick you. I know a lot of people hate the sequels, but that's your loss, not mine. But anyways, my point is this book series I'm reading. It's called the Stormlight Archives. The 4th book I'm in is called Rhythm of War. The first book is called Way of Kings. I've talked about this before. I've been reading this series I think I'm like 6 months now. I've been going on. It took me forever to read the 3rd book. Holy crap. Because I was trying to have it read before November when the 4th book came out, and I just started reading the 4th book, and here it's February. So, but whatever. I love this series. It is like Star Wars on many levels. It encapsulates many of the things I love about Star Wars in a similar fashion. And so I'm like, oh my God. Now it's a book, it's not a movie. But books can be great. Anyways, I don't know. I always spin off on tangents. That's just the way I do things here. You're getting a pure organic topic conversation when you come to Ash on Comics. I don't script things. You might be nodding your head and going, we know. But it's just me. You're just getting what's going on in my brain. You either like it or you don't like it. I can't control that. I could be fake and try to impress you. I could try to tell you the things that might sound good to your ears, I guess. I don't know. Is that what you want? You can just go watch mainstream media for that shit. Love me or hate me, or at least you're getting something real here. Let's see. Ronnie says, watch classic Marvel, Melissa. I find that it's not pandering at all. Teelam is in the house. I skipped right over Lord because he's got a vendetta against me. Sorry, Lord. Hope the comic delays on my LCS won't interrupt my videos that I have been getting up lately. It's been nice getting one vid up a day. Oh, during the FS stuff. FS stuff? I don't know what that is. But testing is under the fool's gold microscope. Okay. Yeah, Tehillim has a channel. Go check him out. Let's see. Dominic is in the house. Good to see you. He says, good evening, everyone. I'm not happy with some of the modern stuff, says Maranya. Good to see you tonight, Dominic. I literally have 2 weeks of FS to catch up on to cover. What's FS? Future State. It must be Future State. That's it. Sorry. I blocked that out of my mind. FS, Future State. God, what a shit show. It's amazing. A year ago, people were still bitching about how shitty New 52 was. And now everyone's like, yay, Future State. I'm like, are you kidding me? What the fuck? What? Please give me New 52 back. I don't want this. Whatever. I'm done. DC drove me away. Dominic says, this coming around, Ronnie, I'm on track and making up my schoolwork for 2 of my classes and doing well the other 2. Good for you, Dominic. Breen says, I've got to go. Age. See ya. Is that a joke, Breen? There's Breen and his jokes. I skipped down real far. See, that's what happens. This YouTube, it does that. It like just jumps down to the bottom occasionally. I don't understand why it does that. Back to reviewing challenges. Super Sons on my channel. It's on hiatus till March. That's weird. Well, whatever. Whatever, DC. Breen says, so this is my channel. Oh, wait, no. He says, so is my channel. I don't understand. I don't understand the context. I got to move along. Hey, Breen, how you doing? Good to see you. Saw you earlier. Now I'm seeing you again. Let's see. Monty says, agreed. Better to turtle paste it than the hair, Dominic. Oh, Eric's calling me a rock straw. Yeah, there we go. I'm a rock straw. Speaking of straws, I don't know why. I guess maybe because I got one. I went to McDonald's today. I told you guys to do this thing where they have the app and you get like deals. And one of my favorite, they do every once a week, they do the thing where you get a large fry for $1 with any purchase. So I go through the drive-through. My work takes me out and about the city. So I'm driving around and I was like swing by and I just get a snack. I'm not hungry enough to like eat a meal, but I'm hungry. So I just get a Coke and a fry. Plus I don't really want to buy a meal at McDonald's. But so it's like $1 plus another $1 for the drink. Works perfectly. I do the mobile order, right? So so you use the app to get the deal and then you can just click the button to like order it. So you show up to the restaurant and you just it gives you a 4-digit code, which you don't even need. You can just tell them your name. So you just pull up to drive-thru and say, hey, I got a mobile order for me. And they're like, oh, okay. And then they like pull forward. So you just pull forward and then they give you a receipt and then they tell you go to the next window and then they hand you your food and you're gone. It's super simple, fast, charges your card, and it works really great. I love it. I get a deal. I get the simplicity. It works great. Today, I go through and I show up at the drive-through part. Mobile order from me. Oh, was it a large fry and a Coke? Yes, that's it. Okay, great. Pull forward. I pull forward. Then they say, oh, it was like this, and this. I was like, no, that's not my order. I got the mobile order. And they're like, oh, hold on. So they, because it's a double drive-through, so they always mix up the orders. And they're like, your mobile order didn't go through. And I'm like, what do you mean my mobile order didn't go through? You literally confirmed the order at the speaker. You told me what I ordered. The only way you would know it is if you saw it go, like, I didn't tell you what I ordered. You told me based on my name. What do you mean it didn't go through? They're like, oh, hold on a second. So they're like checking, call a manager over. Was it this? Yes, it was that. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Hey, no problem. So I'm real polite, because always be polite to the people in the drive-thru. That is rule number 1. Always, no matter how bad they screw shit up. If you don't have your food yet, if they're control, polite. Oh, don't worry about it. No, I'm cool. I'm, just that's how I play it. Cool cat. So like, oh, okay, sorry about that. Here you go. Would you like your receipt? Yes, please. Okay, so I take my receipt. Pull for next window. Get to the next window. Guy's like, can you please pull ahead to the waiting area? I was like, pull ahead? And he's like, yeah, we're sorry. You wanted no salt, so we have to like cook it fresh. And I was like, no, I didn't ask for no salt. And they're like, do you wanted this thing? And I was like, no, I didn't order that. I was like, all I ordered was a fries and a Coke. And they're like, oh, what? Hold on. So they had to go. I'm like, Jesus, get your acts together. I'm thinking to myself, I'm not saying this. And so he comes back and, and one other person is in there, knows what's going on. So I can hear her shouting at him like, no, it's a Coke, no ice, and a fry. And the guy's like, oh, okay. So he gives me a Coke and a straw. And this is what made me think of it. So I put the Coke and then he's like, can you pull forward? I was like, pull forward for a fry and a Coke, of which you've already given me the Coke. This is McDonald's. Like, you have to wait on fries. Now, keep in mind, there's like cars in the drive-thru. It's like it's not like I showed up and it's dead. Like, this is McDonald's. Like, there should be a big bin of fries constantly. And I was like, okay. So then I pull forward and have to wait a couple minutes. And I was like, well, this is weird. Like, I mobile ordered you. Oh, anyways. So everything worked out great. I did get a really hot, fresh French fry, which is the plus side. And I'm not really perturbed that I had to wait. It was more of just like I'm confused. Like, you have this system that lets me tell you the order before I even get to the restaurant. You know what I'm going to get. It was very simple. I didn't order a bunch of weird, complicated stuff. It was a French fry and a Coke. And somehow at every stage of the way, it got messed up. To even after the window, I had to pull forward and wait. Because that was like, I was like, how do you F up this bad? Like, again, fortunately, the food came out great. And I didn't really mind waiting. But it just, anyways, that's my story. I hope it was an exciting one for you. You could be watching Doctor Who, like our boy Jimmy, who I don't think is here. He's probably watching Doctor Who. Let's see. Ronnie says, I read Without Remorse as well. I like some of Tom Clancy's novels. Dude, Tom Clancy is a great writer. Without Remorse isn't even one of his best books, but what I like about it is it's one of the only books he's ever written that doesn't feature Jack Ryan. It's actually about John Clark, which, if you saw the stupid Clear and Present Danger movie, which I absolutely don't recommend, it's a fucking shit show. But that's the character that Willem Dafoe plays in Clear and Present Danger, John Clark. Tom Clancy apparently loves characters with two first names. John Clark is like the super badass command, like where Jack Ryan is like an analyst, paper pusher, gets thrown into big situations. John Clark is like the field guy who fucking, you don't want to get on his bad side. He's the super killer. Anyways, the cool thing I liked about Without Remorse is it was a period piece. It takes place in the 70s when John Clark is younger. It was almost like Tom Clancy's version of First Blood. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, the original Rambo movie. It wasn't called Rambo, but all about a returning veteran, gets on the wrong side of the law. Well, it's not quite so much that the crazy part getting on the wrong side of the law, but you got this returning veteran, but he's not just, I mean, I guess he is a badass like Rambo. John Clark's a badass, but he gets involved with some criminal element, or actually they get involved with him. It's like, that's more like a Punisher, actually. It's like Tom Clancy writing Punisher. Except John Clark never actually becomes a superhero, but he fucking punishes some people. And it takes place in the 70s, so it has a really cool vibe, at least in my imagination. I always wanted to see that be made into a movie, separate from the rest of the Tom Clancy stuff, because I think I like it when you set things in a period of time. You can throw in the style of that era. 70s is just so freaking cool. You could have all the 70s music and the 70s cars, and, just be awesome. No, they're making it all modernized, and they cast Michael B. Jordan as John Clark because they've got to race swap everything. There can't be straight white men anymore. It's done. Like, they just won't make a movie. It's like, oh, it's gonna have straight white. Nope, you're not gonna make it. And I fucking can't stand it. And you say, well, Ash, just get over it. It's no big deal. No, it is. It's racist. For number one, it's racist. People try to tell me, oh, race doesn't matter. You can swap anyone. I'm like, no, if it didn't matter, they wouldn't feel the need to swap it. And it's one way. It's one direction. I still wouldn't agree with it, but I would at least recognize the argument if the race swapping went both ways. If you took a predominantly, or a character that was a black character, and you cast a white guy in the role because, hey, he was a good actor. We just want to swap it over because we could do that. I would be like, okay, this is the thing that happens. I don't agree with it. I really wish you could cast it accurately to the character and the original source material. But at least I would understand your argument. But it does not happen. It is so bad that, what was her name? I'm drawing a blank on her name. Who's the actress of $1 Million Baby and the Next Karate Kid? Man, forgot her name. But remember, she was gonna play. Or was it her? Oh no, it wasn't her. That was a different movie I'm thinking of. It's Scarlett Johansson. was going to play a movie about like a trans person. And then the world went on fire and was like, oh my God, you can't have a straight white woman playing a trans. Oh, she backed out of the role because the pressure got too hot. Because people lost their shit. Remember when Scarlett Johansson played in oh geez, I'm drawing more blanks. Ghost in the Shell? Remember how people lost their shit because she didn't play a Japanese looking android? It's like, what's stupid? Like, remember when people lost their shit for God, Iron Fist? The Iron Fist show? He's not Chinese. Like, and that was not even like right. Like they were upset because they didn't race swap him. It's that bad, and that's why I'm pissed, because when I see that, I don't see it like Once Upon a Time when they cast Kingpin, right? Remember, I didn't look at it and go, "Oh my God, this is a bunch of woke bullshit." I was like, Kingpin's not really supposed to be black, but I can kind of see this is a big imposing figure. Okay, I'll be open-minded, try this out. Like, I didn't think like I do now. It's like every single time you're bombarded with it, you're just like, no, this is bullshit. This is pure woke nonsense. We gotta give all the white roles to black people. And if it was done out of sincerity, it'd be fine. You know, I didn't mind when Denzel Washington was the Equalizer. It didn't feel that way to me. But this feels this way to me. And you know, another thing too is it's about source material. The only Tom Clancy movie that's worth a damn is Hunt for October. Every other Tom Clancy movie sucks balls because they completely disrespect the source material. And that's how you make a shitty project. If you come in and you go, I don't really like the movie I'm adapting, so I'm going to just change it all up, then you're going to fuck it up. You don't have respect for the original material. You don't have a passion to make the project the way it should be. They're going to fuck it up. And so when I see this, I go, oh, without remorse we're going to get is going to be without accuracy. It's going to be without any care. It's just going to be an excuse to put Michael B. Jordan on the screen shooting people, which you could make a million movies. I like Michael B. Jordan. I'm a big fan of the Creed series. I think that was a great way to extend the Rocky franchise. I'm not anti-black actors by any stretch of the imagination. I love Denzel Washington too, like I said. I mean, but just, this is stupid. I'm not gonna excuse it just because I'm afraid that someone's fifis are gonna get hurt because I disagree with it. We live in this world where everyone's just got this emotional blackmail and they're afraid to speak out. Like, oh, I'm not gonna sound woke. I better support this, lest the world think I'm a bigot. Anyways, sorry. Remember when I used to be all political on my channel? Hunt for October got me hooked, says Marania. That was my first book, too, Marania. Hunt for October. That's a great book. I'm going to go back and read it again sometime. Last Jedi is alive to the Ash on comics I know. Well, I don't know if it's still alive because Rise of Skywalker kind of fucking buried that shit. Melissa says Super Bowl ruined Wayne's World, hipster garbage, blurry place depths, Edward Scissorhands with son who's played his daughter's ex. I can't even understand what you're saying, Melissa. Man. I don't get into the Johnny Depp thing. To me, it's a bunch of hearsay. One of them or both of them did some bad things, but I don't actually know. And I'm not going to pretend that I do know. I think that's the silly thing you get involved in. Unless I'm there and I have the insider information, it's all a bunch of spin. We get lied to all the time. And it controls the way we think. This is something for the courts to decide. It goes all the way back to the OJ trial. I remember when OJ was on trial for like 8 months straight. This is nonstop every single day. OJ. And if you got sucked into that, you'd just be like, oh my God, yeah, OJ did it. And, you know, it's like, we don't know shit. We're on the outside. There's a trial for a reason. There's a reason we have due process. Public opinion is the wrong way to go. Did Amber Heard or Johnny Depp do something bad? Sounds like it. Sounds like it. And I hope they work it out. Justice is served. And that's for a court, maybe a jury to decide. Not me. I'm not going to get involved in that hearsay. That's just me, though. Tom Clancy is a talented writer that'll never be forgotten. Splinter Cell is my favorite from him. Dominic, I'm sorry. Tom Clancy didn't write Splinter Cell. Sorry to burst your bubble. But you're right out everything else you said. Are there hobbits in Star Wars, says Eric Breen? Well, there's little people. I'm taking an advanced fiction writing class, but watching Brandon Sanderson's lectures, very engaging. Oh, Dominic, high five, man. I watch his lectures too. Like, I watch them multiple times. He's very informative, but he's not great. He's not, how do I say? He's not comprehensive. So it's not like you can watch all of Brandon Sanderson's lectures and be like, yeah, I know how you're going to walk away with some information that's very good. But holy crap, I feel bad for his students probably get a lot more than we see online. So I'm not going to criticize. I love Brandon Sanderson. Of course, I just talked about the book that I'm reading his, and I love that he has a YouTube channel and that he's so outspoken about talking about writing, and he gives away some of his like original stuff. Like you can get Way of Kings. There's a book he has called Way of Kings Prime, which is the original version of the book that he wrote many, many years ago that he scrapped and rewrote it for the version that's out today as the published. But he gives away the original version so for fans to be able to see where, how things, and I was like, that's really cool. How many writers do stuff like that? Most writers would be like, oh, don't ever look at this trash shit that I wrote, like he's like, cool, read it. And he does, he teaches at BYU. He's actually a college professor, teaches writing. So he puts up his video, like he films the classes, and you can literally essentially take the class in lecture form. Really very informative. He's easily one of my top writers. Let's see. Eric Breen says, Ash, your attitude concerns me. You should be more accepting of new comics like I am. Future state is the future. Sorry, I had to drink some beer for that one. That was hard to swallow, Eric. Magistrate is better than Court of Owls. Tamaki is better than Tomasi. Ash has enough salt. He never has to ask for it. That's good. That's good. Ed's in the house says, I'm sure you told Ash not to start without me. We would never start without you, Ed. I did like the Kingpin and Daredevil movie was a black actor. Plus, he did go off the intimidation of the character. Yep, agree. Johnny speaks only when spoken to when Amber's around. Wow. Johnny Depp should always be Jack Sparrow, and his role in Pirates of the Caribbean is on the line. See, I disagree with that, honestly. I don't want to say the problem. I think a detriment to the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise was they focused it too much around certain characters. And they trained the audience to think that Pirates of the Caribbean is synonymous with Jack Sparrow, when Disney would have been better off making Pirates of the Caribbean many stories about many different pirates and having all sorts of different stuff. And Jack Sparrow just being one of many. Give Johnny Depp, you give that character a story arc, finish it, create a new pirate, and get a really other cool Hollywood actor to come in and do some new visionary role and do an arc with that. And then when that's done, repeat, keep doing it over and over, get all sorts of different, it's Pirates of the Caribbean, not Pirate of the Caribbean. And so now it's just like, oh, without Johnny Depp, they don't know what to do with this movie. And that's unfortunate. And I do like Jack Sparrow, but this is the same problem that Fox did when they did X-Men. I was talking to my buddy about this, and he just went and watched the X-Men movies again, or like some of the later ones he hadn't seen. I was like, dude, don't watch these. And we talked about it, and he's like, yeah, it's just Xavier, Magneto, and Wolverine. That's it. I'm like, yeah, it's not X-Men. It's just those three over and over and over and over. You would think that it's those three people are the X-Men. And that's not. Magneto, he didn't ruin it, but the original creators, Bryan Singer, he came in, he had never read X-Men comics when he made X-Men, so of course he doesn't understand the material he's making, and he flubs it all up. But they just kept going back to that well. It was like, oh, look, it's not always X-Men versus Magneto. Don't do that. But they painted themselves in a corner. They trained audiences that weren't X-Men fans to be like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen with Magneto this time. Like, they couldn't steer away from him. Eric says, I guess since I fell asleep for a second, it's time. Good night, kids. Have a great stream. Oh, I'm sorry, Eric. I was really hoping you were going to stay in for this one because I got Captain America. It's really good. This is a really good book. Maybe you can put the phone on your pillow while you lay down and I'll read you to sleep. I'm going to get reading here soon. Wolverine Max would make a good film. Now, you know what made a good film? The one they already effed up. The Wolverine miniseries by Chris Claremont and Frank Miller, where he goes to Japan to get married and has to face his fiance's father, who's a master swordsman, and explains how Wolverine trained as a samurai to curb his berserker rage. And it was such a great character-driven story that was revolutionized the Wolverine character that Marvel just tossed into the wind. Now I'm all angry. All right, let's get on with the show. I blather much too long, I know, for a lot of people's tastes. Let's go ahead and see, like I always like to do. I know you don't like it, but I want to see if there's sales going on. We got some Comixology. There's an America Chavez sale. Oh, Eric, America Chavez sale. Look at all these great books you can get featuring America Chavez. Fantastic Four sale. So that's some good stuff. There's a lot of good Fantastic Four. I have, and this is cool because I never read Fantastic Four when I was young, so I get to discover it now, which is great because I want Marvel to be good, and they were good once, and I never read it. DC Heroes in Love sale. Now I was a little bit bummed there was no Hawkman in this section. There is Aquaman. You can get the New 52 Aquamans. That's not New 52, sorry. I've heard those are good, actually, Jeff Johns, but the Rebirth Aquamans with Dan Abnett before Kelly Sue takes over. Mm-hmm. Oh, look, Dark Horse Hellboy sale. Oh, that's a lot of Hellboy. And Fathom Best of Image 2020 sale. Get you some Ascender. It's good. So good. So good. Oh, speaking of Brandon Sanderson, here's my boy right here. Brandon Sanderson. Now, I haven't read any of his graphic novels. I'm a little iffy. Because just because you can write good novels doesn't mean you can write good comics. And vice versa. So I'm a little iffy. Plus, he has to work with co-writers because he just basically plots and then has someone else do the actual comic writing. So I'm not so sure. Now, he does have a book coming out through Vault. That's this is an original creation. That's another thing that's kind of cool too. White Sand does not exist in novel form. It's not like a novel that's been adapted to comics. This was created as an original comic form. He's got a new one that's coming out through Vault, which I know some of you guys out there in the indies, It's a little indie darling called The Dark One. And I'm actually very interested in that. The art looks good. And it's a story he's been working on for like 20 years. So I'm definitely going to be checking that out. Black Panther sale, Spider-Man. I'm sure that'll be on sale. Yep, all month long. Go figure. And there's a BIPOC sale at Valiant. Valiant has just become quickly like the most woke company. Like they're just super woke, which is really weird because they're owned by communist Chinese company, which in communist Chinese are total racist against blacks. So it's so weird to see them doing this. You know that it has nothing to do because they're literally committing genocide right now to people. It's just over in China. Like, this is how you know that this sort of shit is bullshit. It's just pure political divisiveness. It has nothing to do with like, we're really fighting for a cause. Black people don't really suffer in America. This is why so many people risk their lives to come to America, because in other parts of the world are hell. Like, coming to here, you have opportunity. Anyways, I'll go off the rail. So that's the comics that are on sale today. This is the comic we're going to be reading. Now, I'm only going to be reading one issue tonight because it's a double-sided or double-sized issue. 48 pages. It's a 4-issue series. This is the book that my stepfather made me read when I was probably Jimmy's age. When I was a youngster like Jimmy, our boy Jimmy, and I thought I knew so much about comics. My stepfather was like me, telling me how wrong I was, and I was like, "You don't know, whatever." And he's like, "Here you go. Here's some Captain America comics. Read these." And I was like, "I don't want to read this." Especially look at the screen. Like, I did not like this art. This was like, oh my God, this looks like old-timey, goofy. This is like everything I hate about comics. He's like, "Just read it." I'm like, all right. You know, you did turn me on to some good stuff. So I read it. And I had to eat a big plate of crow because I used to think Captain America was dumb. Now, granted, I was like, this is like over 20, it's like 25, 30 years ago. This is a long time ago. I was much younger and stupider. I know it's harder to imagine could be more stupid than now, but there was a time. And this is just a book that's been near and dear to my heart to this day as the seminal Captain America story that I've ever read. It's been borrowed on. You're probably going to recognize elements were used for First Avenger if you have not read this before. And I want to share it because I think that there's some books out there that everyone needs to read. Whether or not you're a Captain America fan or whatever, like, just at least have it under your belt. To say, you know what, at least I've experienced that. Now I can know for sure whether it's for me or not. So that's my little story on this. Fabian, Nicieza, and Kevin Maguire, the storytellers. I hate when they do this. It's like, they're not going to say who wrote it and who penciled it. They're just both the storytellers. Equal credit. And I'm like, I don't give a shit about your stupid equal credit. I actually want to know who drew and who wrote, you morons. This is one of my comic pet peeves. It's like, we're both equals. Hey, RDV's in the house. He says, I forgot Ash was on tonight. Well, that's like always. Dominic says Aspen is his favorite. Melissa says forced lesbian Harley. Melissa's still on her rant. Dominic says Valiant wasn't like that, Ash. When it was bought back in 2012 by Dinesh, it brought back the old and the new fans. It's a shame to see it fall so hard from grace. Oh, I know. Dominic, you must not hear me praise. 2012 through 2017, Valiant is the top of the food chain. This is the best publisher in comics. Unbelievable stuff they were producing. just top notch. And then they just went off a cliff. Let's see. Melissa says, I like classic old-timey comics. Well, Melissa, this is not an old-timey comic. Well, I mean, it's starting to get that way. But this is, I believe this came out in 91-ish, I want to say. Yeah, 91 and 92. So, which is like the early 90s is really where like the pinnacle of the mountain for comics in the Renaissance. This is right before the crash. And this is by Fabian Nicieza. Like, this is probably the best thing Fabian Nicieza has ever written. And if you say that there's something better, I want to know, because I want to read it. I really like this. This is book 1 of 4, First Flight of the Eagle. And here we go. It's a dedication there. I'm not going to read it, but I'll leave it up on the screen for a second. Times Square, Manhattan, November 14th, 1940. Movie Tone, News of the World. Some seats over here, Betty. The Third Reich marches onward. Here we go. Hey, sit down up front. Shut up, you jerk. Hitler's Panzer Division stormed through Poland. Mac, do you mind? Sorry, pardon me, excuse me. I said sit down up front. Incoming. Polish cavalry troops are no match for the German juggernaut. What the? Ha ha. Hey, who threw that? Honey, please sit down. The Aryan Ubermensch steps over roads of human bodies in his path to victory. I can't take this kind of crap. After the flick, Buster. After your voice changes, jerk. Did you see that Red Skull person? Crowd publicity stunt, you ask me. Who asked you? Elliot. What's wrong, Pat? Boo, boo, hiss. Look at Steve. Boo, boo, hiss. Boo, boo. Children cry in agony as fathers are taken from their families or simply shot dead in the streets. Able-bodied survivors are being taken to an internment camp outside Berlin. It was horrible. Hey, lighten up, Steve. Why you worry so much about the Nazis? Patty, how can you not worry? They're the things that they do. We can't pretend it's not. Sure, when you put it that way, you're joking about it. Come on, pal. Let Tim Tyler handle it. Elliot, shut up. Steve, if you really want to discuss the fate of the free world, can we at least get out of this freezing cold? Sure. Come on, Gloomy Gus. Let's get back to the village for a nice cup of coffee. Okay. Sorry I flew off the handle. You're a flag waver. It's to be expected. Elliot, it's not that. It's... Sure. Your uncle's name's Sam, and you've seen Confessions of a Nazi Spy 10 times. Sure is cold out here tonight. What are you gonna do, Steve? Go beat up on that Red Skull guy yourself? Guess not. Pretty cold day for November, wouldn't you say? I lost my pop in the big one. How many people would die in a Second World War? Millions, maybe? Die from the cold, probably. But hiding isn't right either, Elle. You're saying an isolationist is a coward? Call me a coward, then. But if you're so gung-ho, why don't you go enlist? maybe I should. Steve! Elliot! It's all right. Go without me. I'll walk. I feel so useless. Ugh, bonk. Useless and hopeless. Ouch. Now I have to walk 50 blocks in the snow. Brilliant. Great soldier I'd ever make. 40 minutes later, Washington Square Park. Almost there. Exhausted. I'm so weak. It's not fair. Elliot was right. What can I do? But where would this country be if everyone thought like he does? I think too much. Still. Oh, brother. Okay. If you're gonna do it, get to it. Okay, I'm in the door. Get in line. Fill out the forms we give you. Yes, sir? Who are those two? Perfect. They don't look like military men. Who was that young man? He's perfect. Who's he talking to now? Why does he keep looking at me? So as I said to Dora, I'm out of here. No way I'm gonna put up with a minute more of you. So she says to me, what you gonna do about it, you bum? And I says, join the army, the cooking room. Oh, shut up, please. Are they talking about me? No, that's ridiculous. But they keep looking this way. And your papers. And your papers. What? Where? Nope. Sorry. What? Do you... 4F? According to your application, you have or have had just about every ailment in the book. Yeah, so? That shouldn't stop me from enlisting. You have to let me fight for my country. Come on already. Tick-tock, tick-tock. Attention! Huh? What? Perfect. He's absolutely perfect. I see you're having some problems, son. My name is General Phillips. Perhaps I could be of some help. How so, sir? Are you sincere in your desire to help your country? Perfect. Yes, I'll do anything, but Lieutenant Glass, make the arrangements. Absolutely perfect. What's going on? Lieutenant Glass will take you from here, son. Perfect, I tell you. You're the lieutenant? A car will accompany you to your residence. We'll be flying to Washington tonight. Oh. Oh, and Mr. Rogers, bring several days' worth of clothes. Minutes later, at Steve's apartment building. You've got to be kidding us. Steve, if it was something Elliot said... I didn't say anything, Patty. He's lost his marbles, that's all. Really, guys, it's okay. You're flying to Washington with the general? How can everything be okay? Your new WPA assignment starts on Monday. I'm sure there's more I can do for my country than painting murals in subway stations. Pats, please, trust me. Oh, whatever you do, be careful. Mr. Caution, that's me. L? I think you're crazy, Steve. Really. But I promise not to rent out your half of the room. This is it. Please write, okay? If I can, sure. Bye, guys. Be good. Click. I don't like this one bit. Excuse me. Where are we going? This way. Sign reads Fort Dix Army Base, New Jersey. Go on through, Shawley. Philip's having puppies. Time is money. Let's load up. Is he always so impatient? They say when Phillips was born, he slapped his mother asking her what took so long. Blurp. What's with the groaning noises, Rogers? First time in a plane, sir. Buck up, man. Don't be such a weenie. I think I have a bromo, sir. Tread eggshells with him, Mr. Rogers. He's always been uncomfortable around civilians. Oh, sure. Thanks, Lieutenant. And please, call me Steve. Only if you call me Cynthia. Flight Transport 14C cleared to land at Washington, D.C. Airport. Excuse me, sirs and ma'am, but I'm kind of nervous enough as it is, without the doctor looking at me like I'm a Thanksgiving turkey. Don't mind Frankenstein, Rogers, but to him you are. Ahem. Humph. What's the matter? Nothing, sir. Nothing. We're here. Is this it? A regular Dick Tracy, aren't you, son? I mean, it's just not what I expected, sir. It's all looks so regular. That was the intention, Steve. We want to keep everyone nice and cozy, Rogers. Everyone? Well, I think I'll just turn in for the night. I'm awful tired. Up at 0600, Rogers. He's perfect. You're a monotonous sort, aren't you? Holy smokes. What a day. What have I got myself into? Too nervous to think. Too much to think about to be tired. Too tired to sleep. Too sleepy to be nervous. Morning comes. Bring. 0600, Mr. Rogers. I'm an Adam. Good morning. When's the last time you saw this side of the noon, son? Morning, Steve. Everyone's ready, General. Today you'll meet the other participants in Project Rebirth. Others? You'll see. Welcome to Rebirth Training Center. Wow. It's like something out of the H.G. Wells. Who's the toothpick? That, Mr. Hodge, is the man who's going to frustrate you time and time again over the coming weeks. You see, our newest recruit was known pain in his life. Wait. You see, our newest recruit has known pain in his life, Mr. Hodge. Have you? Have you ever seen human agony? Have you ever seen the carnage of a bloodied battlefield? Bullets rip into your friends. Metal fury shredding a child inches in front of you before you could rescue her. Have you ever seen the effects of the mustard gas as it swept across an innocent European village? Those are the sights of war. Those are the sights I have seen. Gentlemen, My name is Lieutenant Colonel James Fletcher, and I'm here to take you sightseeing. I know him. That's the American Eagle. Very good, Mr. Rogers. Huh? Yes, I know who you are. Intimately, if you must know. Stephen Rogers, born July 4th, 1917. Parents Joseph and Sarah, both Irish immigrants. Father died in 1920, mother in 1934. A would-be professional artist currently subsisting on works progress... Sorry. Take two. A would-be professional artist currently subsisting on works progress administration grants. Yes, indeed, I know you. I do, Mr. Ferments. Harmon, born 1915, graduated Harvard, postgraduate work in physics and engineering at Cal Poly Tech. Parents living in Rosemead. They do so love their son who never sweats. Jack Windermere, All-American fullback from Notre Dame, 1936, Olympic track member. Good job on the 500-meter relay, son. Sorry about the knee, though. Friggin' darky. Gilmore Hodge. Goose to all his friends, of which he has none, including me. Yes, I know you. Then perhaps, sir, you may allow us the luxury of sharing in the knowledge. Oops, I was reading the wrong word balloon. Then perhaps, sir, you will allow us the luxury of sharing in the knowledge. Why exactly are we here? Project Rebirth is a government-sponsored military experiment, Mr. Ferments, being run by the white-haired gentleman up there. One-syllable words. Less than one, if possible. Good morning, gentlemen and lady, and him. Very succinctly put, we are here to create a perfect man through various biological and physical processes. How are you gonna do that with a beanpole, a kike, and a spook? Same way we're gonna do it with you, flesh bag. Through hard work, he said? Yup. That's what I thought, he said. What are these for? Hard work. The 100-yard dash, right? Uh-huh. Check Windermere, pre and post right knee. Number 223, Rogers? Won't even finish. How are we going to outrun the football spook? Just concentrate on outrunning your mouth, Hodge. Quite the competition, eh? Where's Jesse Owens when you need him? Humph. Whose leg? Windmere. Subject 221. Ach. Go! Oof. No. No. Dead last. He didn't quit. Is that good? It's not bad. The professor would like the stress analysis on subject 221. Roger's finished. Gumption won't dodge bullets. This is only to test for muscle elasticity. Don't strain yourselves while lifting. You're a beanpole, relax. Oof. Are you all right? Aw, Beanpole found a boyfriend. Ha. Subject 220 is rather strong, but the elasticity is minimal. The serum would possibly tear every muscle in his body. That include his tongue, too? Come on, Harmon. Push, push. Don't you mean pull? Yeah, all right. Way to go, Einstein. 1. Did you see the blood analysis reports on that one? Which one? That one. What's his name? What's his file number? Get to Major Gruber. No, in English, please. Am I being understood? Do you hear me? Explain this. Major, perhaps you'd like to relax before you give... Sorry. Major, perhaps you'd like to relax before you give me an aneurysm? Of course. Of course. Well, what would happen to him if the serum were to be administered? Interesting question. Shouldn't the process have an inherent recuperative properties? Lad's gonna take it hard. He's been quite determined to prove himself. What do you guys think? For days they've been talking. Well, Abe. Mist Ach Brunnen. I don't know. What do you guys think? Will you stop asking us that? Weeks pass, and continued tests lead to more whispered talks among the rebirth candidates. All the young men are poked and prodded by the ever-vigilant team of doctors. Their individual training sessions are discontinued. The doctors have discovered something. It has unnerved them. The rebirth candidates are kept guessing until Christmas Eve. Well, boys, what do you think of my decorations? They look very homey, Lieutenant Glass, ma'am. It was really nice, Cindy. Thanks. Looks like you forgot the mistletoes to me. Ha! Why don't you come sit on Santa's lap to make up for it? Santa's lap. Good one, right, Beanpole? Shouldn't you apologize, Goose? Huh? What are you, out of your mind or something? What are you drinking, gasoline? Steve, it's quite all right. The fact that Mr. Hodge was able to string a variety of two-syllable words together in some semblance of a grammatical coherence should be cause for congratulations, not derision. Huh. What'd she say? She said you're an idiot. Ha! Hey, what's with Harmon? Harm? Guys, no need to worry about the project delays anymore. Harmon, what's wrong? They found out. The process won't work on me. I'm a hemophiliac. I knew he was a pansy. Will you shut up? How about I shut yous up? Bow. Off him! Don't touch me, spook! How dare you! Ah! Notice the knee. Ch-choo! Jake! Get away from me, you sissy! Hemophiliac, Gibbon. It means I have a blood disorder. What the hell is going on in here? Jake! And so, just lie back, boy. You busted your knee, but good. Handkerchief for my nose. Poor Jake. He was going to be the one. Cartilage. Torn to ribbons, guaranteed. No more egghead. No more colored boy. Just you and me now, beanpole. December 27th. Abraham, Ja, James, come in, come in. What can I do for you? I want your opinion. On? Hodge, subject number 220. Ack, what about him? His mental condition. What do you think the effects of the experiment might be on him? Well, we purposely obtained various morphological types specifically to see what effect would be, ja? I know, Abe. I mean I don't know. I think he's dangerous. I think he is ignorant, and I think ignorance is dangerous. So you agree with me? I would hope any rational mind would agree that Mr. Hodge is an imbecile. Am I missing your point, James? Wait. No, sorry, that was him still talking. That was bad reading. Am I missing your point, James? Whatever gave you that idea? I want Hodge dropped from the project. I wanted to know if he was really necessary at this point. I mean, from an intellectual standpoint. Furmans was our man. From a physical, Windmere. What we have left is courage and calamity. And you fear the possibilities regarding Mr. Hodge. The soldier in me says, go for courage every time. Very well. I have no problem with dropping Mr. Hodge. Okay. Arm's all wrong. Never tried drawing anyone who was brawny before. Why am I doing this? It's so infantile. Look kind of neat, though. Knock, knock. Who? It's me, Steve. Come in. No. Wait. Hi. Hi. Why are you smiling so much? Congratulations, Steve. Yeah? I won? Wait, what did I win exactly? The chance to serve your country, son. Do you think he's ready, Professor? Oh, most certainly. I'm ready, sir. Well, park it, son. It'll be a while yet. But I've taken all the tests, done all the work. What could be next? Oh, just some more tests. And a whole hell of a lot of hard work. The following weeks are a strenuous learning experience for young Rogers. But no matter how nervous or uncertain he may be, Steve knows in his heart that he is on the verge of something wonderful, something that will give his life real meaning. Dear Patty, I hope you were able to receive this letter, as I hope you and Elle received my holiday greetings. Sorry I can't give you a letter address to write me, but, well, it's the Army. You know what Elle would say, right? Things have been going very well for me. It's an incredibly exciting time. I'm sorry that I can't give you any details, but I think it's okay if I tell you that I'm involved in a secret experiment which is going to greatly benefit this country. You know what Elle would say to that, too. Maybe I should let up on Elle. I hope that both of you have been well and that you miss me as much as I miss both of you. Oh, did I forget to mention that I think I'm in love? Typical of me to almost forget that, right? Her name is Cindy, and she's a lieutenant. She seems to like me, but you know, but you know how I. Sorry, it's hard to read this. I haven't read cursive in so long. It's not natural anymore. She seems to like me, but you know how I am with those kinds of things. Push it, son. I could lift more than that when I was 10. Push it, push it, push it. Huff, huff, huff. Don't worry. Blam, blam. Maybe we should get you a tank. Copyright 1937, patent pending, printed in the USA. This guy? Martial artist, huh? Konnichiwa? Martial artist? Huh? Rule number 1. Never underestimate your opponent. No, you panty waste. You never approach me from the upstream position. Tell me why. I don't know, Sarge. This is a test of your reflexes. We'll be comparing your results now with those of the first taken a month ago. Bark, bark. Push it, push it, push it. Don't even ask what they are. Just swallow. Come on. Butt hurt, son? Would have been better off landing on your head. Respiration rate increased 35%. Blood pressure down. Push it, push it, push it. Snooze. January 28th. Outside of Washington, D.C., a secret meeting takes place. I'm glad you could come. I'm still a little confused, Abe. Why all the subterfuge? I fear the project may be compromised. Abe, we've gone over this time and again. Security on Rebirth has been exemplary. You do not know the Reich as do... You do not know the Reich as do I. You... Well, Abe, what can I say? Nothing. I fled Nazi Germany, James. I know what they are capable of doing. Humor me and take this. What's this? The formula. Really? I thought you committed everything to memory. Heh. No. A rumor I prefer to perpetuate. Much of the rebirth formula is documented, but only in pieces. No one has the entire formula. If any of my assistants are compromised, they can only impart pieces of the puzzle. The Vitares, which I developed after I came to America, are the key to the puzzle, James. You are the only other man in the world with that information now. If anything should happen to me, Rebirth rides on your shoulders. Well, thanks, Abe. Just what I need. February 12th. In the head. No, in the knee. Or a slap in my face. Or worse, she'd smile and laugh herself silly later. Steve? Is there someone you'd like to buy a card for? Huh? What? No. No, just look or thinking. Are you sure? We have plenty of time. Don't tell me there's no one special at home. Just Elliot, but he's diabetic. Excuse me? Nothing, nothing. No, Sin. There's no one at home who's waiting for my Valentine. Pretty pathetic, huh? I have a few friends, but I've pretty much been a loner all my life. Is that why you wanted to enlist? No, not really. It's hard for me to explain. I'm not very good at speech making or blabbing on and on about my feelings. I guess I just joined because I was angry. Angry? At whom? The Germans, ourselves, everybody. I got sick of seeing the newsreel footage of the Nazis crushing countries underfoot, while everyone else turned the other cheek and pretended it wasn't happening. And all I could think of was innocent people getting hurt, killed. What for? For land? For money? For power? What is there in this world that's worth killing someone for? Oh, that's still Steve. This is bad lettering. For land? For money? For power? What is there in this world that's worth killing someone for? I don't know. March 3rd. The tests seem never ending, but now Rogers looks forward to them. 35, 36, 62, 63. We might as well be going in reverse, son. Blam, blam, blam. Okay, you're starting to draw blood. I just don't feel comfortable around guns, sir. I'm sure the Krauts will take that into account. Oof. Take down. Hey, I'm getting pretty good at boof. The philosophy behind the maneuver originated in the Battle of Mikatagahara, 1572. You're getting there, Rogers. Now tell me what happened there. A classic example of the rear guard assault. You sure about this, sir? Real darts, son. They're very pointy. Let's do it. Reflexive acuity up 45%. Muscular mobility increased over 34%. Anything in there about sleep deprivation? Hammer away. Go for the kill. Our lamb chop's becoming a wolf. Yes, sir. Oof, oof, oof. What's next? 501. The results show significant improvement. I would say we are just about ready. Cape. Has to have a cape. No, the cape is stupid, but it'll look boss. American Eagle soars again. How can someone with so many muscles touch his toes? I love this part. SR plus CG. Did you ever do this when you were a kid, junior high? Write in your notebooks. March 10th. The months of preparation are over. Dr. Anderson, is Mr. Rogers quite comfortable? Like a bug in a rug. But I don't think the security boys upstairs are ready. Where's that man from the interior? What's his name? Friedrich Clemson, General. At the last moment, Secretary Ikes was unable to attend. Bzz. That must be him. You're running a little late, Mr. Clemson. Let's get this man through. The general's in quite a hurry. I'm sorry, Lieutenant Glass. We haven't finished the security check yet. Corporal, will you just let him through? Forgive my tardiness. I wouldn't want to be responsible for ruining today's exhibition. Okay, doctors, half the cabinet's here. They still have a country to run, so let's get on with it. Ach, der Militarisch. We are ready. Goggles on, everybody. This is the first day of a new era for the United States of America. And this young man is the first of the new breed. Don't worry, Stephen. Politicians expect dramatics. Ach, Anderson, go. All systems online, Professor. Electrical omniverter powered up to 80%. Better put on your goggles, sir. I heard that equipment may use radiation. Really? Clunk. Is he okay? I don't know. How could anyone live through that? Steve. Incredible energies surged through Roger's body. Almost blew the system. God almighty. The data is incredible. That a body could undergo such a radical biochemical transformation. Stephen? Stephen! Thank God. Sir? Ja, Stephen? I feel thicker. Wunderbar. The test subject is awake. Clap, 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 clap. Well, can we proceed with the unveiling, Professor? Huh? Steve! Ladies and gentlemen, Project Rebirth is a resounding success. Through biochemical and radioactive means, we have created the next step in human evolution. I give you the perfect man of the coming decade. I give you the American super soldier. No, traitor to the Führer's Reich, I give you death. Kapow. Abraham! Oh! Snap, snap. Oh my. Back away. Sir! Kapow. Flump. Mein Gott. Enfin. Phew, Steve. What have you done, you butcher? Not the Vita Rays? Good Lord. I didn't realize I could. How strong. Don't touch the cable. Ugh. The professor. The professor. I'm sorry. How could this have happened? Abraham. That's a good question, Rogers. Lieutenant Colonel Fletcher? I don't know, General. Somehow Rebirth has been infiltrated. This assassin would never have had access to the galley without the inside help. Well, Glass, I don't know, sir. His credentials seem complete. I'm sorry. It's not your fault, Lieutenant. Get Rogers out of here. Then get someone down our interior immediately. Will you stop fidgeting? Shut up, Doc. I've had worse. I want to help. Wait, let me help. Come on, Steve, please. Safe house 2, complete clampdown, understand? But I can. I know I can. Holy Toledo. Is that me? Steve, we have to hurry. All the lab boys go to a different safe house. No internal communications. Locations are fed to me and only me. Got it? How are we compromised? Who was the inside man? Meanwhile, at the Wehrmacht headquarters of the Third Reich in Berlin, Germany, evil forces have received word of Project Rebirth's initial success. Jaward, it is time. Special Agent X, you have your operatives in place? Ja, das Vernichtungskommandos. Unfortunate that Erskine is not alive to see his children. Which loyal son of the Deutschland to use, eh? The Sorespritzi is most often quite effective, but rather messy. Der Zahnmotor is painful, but the dread cannot relay the depths of their agony. Their Blitzengriff's methods can be too easily mistaken, but we wouldn't want them to believe it was a common household accident, would we? Let us opt for the horrific, shall we not? Die Surespritz it is. Now, if we are to believe that pieces of Erskine's puzzle are spread throughout his assistants, let us assume that this man has the most valued prize, the secret of the Vita rays. Artsin Anderson, you will be the first. 2 days later, at the Washington, D.C. safe house, which has kept Dr. Anderson under wraps. Hello? Corporal, is that you? Shh. Martins? Eh? Who are you? Oh, shh. Oh God. With the death of Professor Erskine's top assistant and the theft of his lab reports, Rebirth continues to fall apart. The military scrambles to protect the remaining project scientists, as well as the valuable information that they have on their super soldier serum. Where are we going? To a new safe house, Dr. Keller. Good God. What in the name of heaven is that? Poof. He's got us. He's got us. Ha 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 ha. Woo ya. Woo ha ha hoo. Was Vergnügen. Americans. Abscham. The next day, all clear. Hustle it up. Hustle it up. Corporal, nothing but fire under the tires. Where are we? Yes, sir. The sedan leaves without incident, but its occupants are not satisfied. This is ridiculous. Those killers are still loose. I mean, what's the sense of turning me into this if I can't fight back? There's more at stake here than a couple of krauts killing a couple of scientists, son. You're a commodity now, A weapon the other side doesn't have. We can't lose that advantage. What about all that rah-rah fighting spirit hooey? What kind of soldier runs and hides? A good soldier isn't necessarily a good fighter. A good soldier follows orders. He does as he's told. Is that understood, Private Rogers? Yes, sir. An army base? You're hiding me here? What better place to hide a soldier? Sign reads Camp Lehigh. I have to stay here? Act like a regular GI? Well, actually, to avoid suspicion, we'd like you to act, well, stupid. Oh, like this? You're good at that, son. Keep it up. Remember, low profile. You're not ready for field work yet, and we don't want you getting hurt. Yeah. Sure, sir. Cindy, or Lieutenant. Steve, be careful. Please. Hopefully, we'll see you soon. She waits until I leave to do that? Get a load of the sedan fancy smancy. Who's the big guy? Someone very well connected. Senator's son, I'm thinking. Not the brightest of sorts. Look. Probably landed a cushy Jess job because of his rich daddy. How'd you know all that? Wow. I have a rep to maintain, Ulminski. Ah, Harry, you're such a jerk. 2 weeks later, at an abandoned meatpacking plant outside of an Indian Head, Maryland. It's not enough. How much of the accursed Erskine notes have we acquired? Are you deaf, Blitzengriff? We do not have nearly enough to accurately recreate the experiment. And without the Vita rays, all we would accomplish would be creating more mistakes. Like yourselves. And would that be such a terrible thing, Agent X? Stop prattling with your pathetic insecurities. We have a mission to complete. If the Fuhrer had wanted more of you, would he have ever bothered sending us here? It is the Vita rays we seek. There is only one assistant left. Der Zahn Mortar. Oh, do not worry yourself overly much. You will get your precious Vita ray secret. Click. The sun rises, a bloody red the next day, as, hurry, men. Weissman might very well be. General Phillips, sir, wait for us. Lieutenant Colonel? He's dead, sir. Oh, God. How can anyone? What kind of an animal could do that to a human being? We have to find the butcher who did this. Butchers, sir. 3 different killers. I'm sure of it. 3? How bad has it gotten then? It seems Weissman was tortured for a long time. He must have given them what they needed to know. They have all of it then. Damn. How can we let the Germans just take it like that? They don't have all of it, sir. The Vita rays, the most important part. They don't have that. And they're not going to get them either. Later that night, back at Camp Lehigh. Stupid. Looks like a Sunday funny strip. Why do I keep doing this to myself? I'm no comic book hero. I've never even liked the pulps or read the radio I've never even liked the pulps or the radio serials. Ah, here we go. This may be it. Ta-ta-tum. It's Mr. America, protector of army barracks nationwide. Humph. Ah, gah. Colonel Fletcher, sir, what are you doing here? I just wanted to check up on you, son. Won't that, what's the word? Compromise my secret identity? Humph. Making sure you're okay is more important. You are okay, aren't you? No, sir. I'm so mad. I'm... Please, Colonel. This is so frustrating. People are dying to protect me. I should be helping. I feel so useless. Private Rogers. Steve. I know how it feels. I know. But callous as it may sound, in war, some lives are expendable. Yours isn't one of them. I don't deserve to live instead of great men like Erskine and Anderson. I'm not important enough. Steve, you are the hope of this great country. You will be saving its light in the dark days to come. You must believe me on this. I have walked a mile or two in your shoes, son. Trust me. Ride it out. Your call to duty will come soon enough. I have to go now. I'll be in touch. Yeah, sure. How can you argue against a man like that? So confident, so forthright, so darn paternal. I'll never be like that. Wonder if I can still get a glass of milk at the mess hall. Probably not. What's the use of being the perfect man if nothing works out right for you? Oh, right. Perfect man. That's a hoot. Maybe in body, but not, huh? Why are the lights on in the mechanics pool? They shouldn't be working this late. Maybe it's none of my business. I'm supposed to keep a low profile. I wonder. Move it, you joiks. Gotta get this stuff loaded and out of here in 15 minutes. They're stealing supplies. Maybe I should find the MPs. Or maybe not. If I can get the dope on them, maybe they'll see that I should be doing more than just sitting on my duff. If this is an inside job, some of those guys may recognize me. I'd better disguise myself a little. Oh, shoot. What do I do now? Who's that guy? A lookout? Hey, wait a second. The motorbike. He didn't hear me at all. If I can carry this all the way to the road, I should be okay. I can't believe I'm not even winded. There's the truck. Okay, how do I start this thing? Vroom, 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 vroom. Okay, everything's hunky-doky. Mr. America on the prowl. I'm actually chasing military saboteurs. Boy. Truck stopped at that warehouse. Now what do I do? No window above the shed. I should be able to get a good look inside. Windows open. Better than just a look. I can sneak inside. As long as no one sees me, I should be okay. Huh? I'm in. They didn't hear me. That's the last load we can get from Lehigh. When's the drop-off gonna be? Tomorrow night, right? Whomp. Hey! Freeze! Who's he think he is? One of the air aces? Steve's standing on a box that says, "Warning, property of U.S. Army. Highly explosive." What do you want, bud? Just keep your hands in the air, mister. Don't move. Sure, I'm a rock. You're all under arrest for the theft of government property. Okay. Sure. You got us fair and square. What? Dun, dun, dun. To be continued. All right. Normally I would have a break in between. I thought about doing it. I didn't know where the middle was. So I just decided to read all the way through. Hopefully no one fell asleep. Except Eric. You know he fell asleep. And RDV's probably read a couple other comics by now. I don't know. Let's see what you guys thought. This is a little bit of a slow burn. It's an origin story. So obviously it's telling the origin of Captain America. It builds up, obviously, much like Captain America, the first Avenger movie. This is the book, as I said earlier, that got me to appreciate Captain America as a character, as a hero. I think, especially upon rereading it now, I haven't read this book in 25 years. It's been a long time. So when I last read it, I was in my 20s. Now I'm middle-aged. And I read this book now, and it's still good. But I think I have a little bit more awareness of like myself and how I relate to the book. And one of the things I don't remember pulling the first time is how much I identify with Steve Rogers. As I was reading this, I was like, this guy is like me. Now, I don't mean to say in any way that I'm Captain America, but more of the pre-Captain America Steve Rogers, a guy who feels helpless, but he like cares. He's like so much. He's like, I just want to fucking do something about these Nazis, and it sucks because he's not in a position to do anything. So he feels really helpless, but he has a lot of empathy for other people. He's a good guy. He's a wannabe artist. He's got blonde hair. Surprise, I have blonde hair. So it's interesting. I don't know if subconsciously I gravitated towards that before, but I don't remember thinking this way in the past. I just liked the character. But now, of course, I wasn't really political back then either. I didn't think about those type of things that are like bugging Steve like I am today. I don't know. Just very interesting. Let's see. Whoever drew it wasn't a Marvel Stormbreaker. This guy that drew this book is Kevin Maguire. I believe he was more of a DC artist at the time. I know he did like a Superman run. If Breen was here, he'd be able to educate us. I didn't really like the covers on this. I felt they were kind of hokey, but in retrospect, that was kind of the point, is these books were supposed to look more reminiscent of Golden Age style. Captain America. I think the interior art really grew on me. Kevin's an amazing artist. I felt like at the time, because this is like 91, right? When Jim Lee and Todd McFarlane, it was all the Edgelord comics. And then I read this and I was like, wow, this is so cartoony looking. But today, I really appreciate it. Let's see. Dominic says, I remember your praises for Valiant, Ash. At the very least, we can go back and read both classic and 2012 Valiant through the back issues. That's true. There's a lot of that 5 years of Valiant when it was under Dinesh Shamdasani. Like, there's a lot of stuff to read. So, and I plan to someday read it all, or at least the chunk. I don't think I'm gonna read Faith. It's just not my cup of tea. But let's see. Melissa says, Captain America and Darkseid and the X-Men are the legendary Jack King Kirby's greatest creations, along with many, many more. RDV says, I was watching Real Ghostbusters in 1989. Marani says, yes, this book I had back in 1989. I remember the art and the storyline. Good stuff. It's the other guy doing the art because it has shades of Wahaha Justice League with a different inker. Oh, there's my phone. Yeah, I believe Kevin Maguire may have done that Justice League run you're talking about. RDB says, I miss being 4 years old back in 1989. Right? Push it real good. I was thinking the same thing when I was reading it. I decided not to make the joke during the time, though. The electrified guy looks suspiciously like the Joker. I think might have been the bwahaha laughing thing was what reminded me. I didn't think he otherwise looked like the Joker. RDV says he was positively electrifying. Good one. RDV says, I think Cindy might be a traitor. You think so? Let's see. Paulo is here. He says, good morning. Well, if we can't have Eric Breen, we can have the next comic book expert. I'm sure Paulo's read this book. He probably knows all about Captain America and all the stuff I was talking about that I didn't know. Let's see. Paul Costas, I don't like to see Private Rogers or Captain Rogers. The way it was usually portrayed is that Steve never had an official army rank. Well, that was retconned, Mr. Paulo, and you should know that. Steve was made a captain. Now, I think it was like an honorary type position, but he had the rank. And to be in the military at all, right? You're going to be a private. So he wasn't enlisted. Otherwise, they need to keep giving him several temporary commissions as a 2-star general. Otherwise, he'd never be able to give orders on assignment. Man, you're just getting into the realism factor here. Kids don't care about that. Plus, when you're Captain America, I don't think the same rules apply to you. I don't think, like in the military, there's this rule that, like, if you don't get promoted after so long, they just kick you out. Like, you either get promoted or you get kicked out. It's one of the two things. And it kind of makes sense, right? But you're not going to kick out Captain America. He's Captain America. And of course he kind of is now. This is a world of Marvel where they have an organization called S.H.I.E.L.D. The world's different. This is a world where Daredevil can go to jail with his mask on. RDV says, when Ash reaches 600 episodes, will he start over from 1 and include legacy numbers? I already did that joke on my Ash Wednesdays. I started over and I did legacy numbers for a while, and then the joke ran thin, so I stopped. Just like Marvel. I got tired of doing it. Paulo's like, it'll be Storytime Live, Volume 6, Number 9, Legacy 684. Oh man. But then once 684, once it gets to 700, whatever 9, so 9, oh see. So that'd be what, 16 more, so 16 plus 9. So, oh, that's a tough one cuz that would be also be 25. See. So I'd have to change the legacy differently. Cuz 25 would be a milestone, but then also 700 would be a milestone. So that's what you have to do. It's like Venom, right? Venom's about to hit issue 35, but they're going to change the number. It's going to be the 200. So it's issue 34, and then the next issue after 34 is issue 200. And then it'll probably go back to 36, and once, or maybe it'll stay at 200, 201, and keep going until it hits 50, and then they'll go back to 50. And then once it gets to 250, then they'll go. See how they do that? I hate that. That's okay. Donny Cates is leaving. I'm going to probably drop Venom because just these comic companies don't want my money. I swear. I swear. All right, JLA 80-page giant. What are you talking about? A bunch of other stuff. All right, did you look up Kevin Maguire stuff? I guess that's what RDV is posting. Kevin was mostly a DC guy throughout his career, says Paulo. That's what I said. But since Paulo's the authority. I'm just this guy who puts out information. You can't trust if it's true, even though I'm usually right. But it's because I'm a good guesser. At Marvel, he did Adventures of Captain America and Captain America Volume 3, number 50. He barely did any Marvel work. He doesn't have that style for Marvel. Remember, this was the early 90s. This is, like I said, when Jim Lee, McFarlane, you didn't get work at Marvel unless you were hot shit. People went to DC if you were a solid artist, but you didn't have what I call sex appeal. Then you were kind of considered boring, and then you got thrown on a Justice League book or something. But that's just the way it was. Dalton isn't here to authorize that comment, Nash. Oh, I don't need any authorization. I am my own authorization. Well, folks, it is after midnight, and I have been committed to not letting these shows run long like I have in the past. This is a long book. Man, it feels long. It felt more than two issues of a comic reading it, but it's also very wordy. I hope you guys enjoyed this book. I think it does get better. I'm really enjoying revisiting the book. I think next time I'm going to try to break it up a little more so we can talk about the book. Let me know in the comments below what you like, what you didn't like, how to improve things, what to stop doing that you hate. Whatever, or just give me a big FU in the comments. RDB says, lol, we were right on time. I would go into Discord to chat, but I have work that I have to do. So I've already put off some of it, and now I got to go finish it. But I want to thank everyone for being here, supporting me. I hope that I bring some level of entertainment. Obviously, I do. You wouldn't be here. You'd be off watching Doctor Who or something else. So I guess that's good. I do something right. It's fun talking to you guys. I love seeing your guys' comments. So whatever you guys say is what I usually talk about. Paulo, it's good to see you. You should stop by more often, my friend. He says, I don't think his style was the issue. He didn't have a DC style either, but he was very recognizable, like Marie Severin and Keith Giffen, who could be both goofy and serious. I don't know. I mean, you have a bigger knowledge of comics than I do, but I always felt like Kevin Maguire fit DC. Now, maybe it's because I saw his work DC, so I'm like, he kind of embodied the style. But that's when I looked at him, I'm like, that's DC look. That's how DC comics look. But Ronnie says, it didn't feel long to me. It felt the right length, and it was quality. We need more books like this. Well, Ronnie, I'm glad you liked it. RDB says, I came here to support Eric, but he left. Oh. And RDV wonders why he doesn't get invited on my channel. Stuff like that, buddy. Stuff like that. I could invite Paulo on. I didn't know Paulo did streams until I found my way over to Howler Mouse one day, and I was like, "Hey, there's Paulo streaming. What's going on?" He says he'll try to wake up a bit sooner. Well, I didn't realize you're just waking up. But yeah, guys, I'm just sitting here blabbering on about nothing at this point. So thanks so much for watching. Throw your suggestions down too about books you'd like to see read. Again, the qualifiers are, it's got to be on Comixology, and it has to be a book I have access to, which means I either need to own it or I need to be able to get it off of Comixology Unlimited. So one of the two. If it's not a book I own or Comixology Limited and you want to donate it, that's a more certain way to get a book to be read. I will always try to definitely do something. It also needs to be something that's approximately 6-ish issues. I don't want to do like, here's a 24-issue series to go read. I can't do that. So something that can be, I think up to 8 issues would be good, because that would be 4 episodes. But anyways, that's how that goes. I'm not asking, you don't have to donate anything, but some people have, and I've tried to read them, and that's it. So we'll be reading Captain America for the next 2 weeks. So Thursday, then Tuesday, then Thursday again. We'll wrap it up with Sentinel Liberty. Come back and join us. Get the whole story. It is really good. And that's it. I know what RDV is name dropping. He is friends with Mike Barron. So make sure you lick RDV's boots and praise him. And maybe you can be friends with Mike Barron too. I don't know. I'm just making shit up again. I gotta go. It's getting late. Thanks again. I'll see you next time.